Has Madison Cawthorn flipped his lid? Or has he really blown the lid off the cesspool that the United States Congress has become? Good afternoon. This is another Declaration of Truth from your host, Terry A. Hurlbut. In this video, we're going to look at what Madison Cawthorn said, what Madison Cawthorn didn't say, what everybody is saying about him, and what you can read between the lines. Spoiler alert, it won't be pretty. But before we get into this any deeper, I want to give a shout out to the sponsor of this channel, which is Conservative News and Views, link in the description. And be sure to check out the awesome CNAV store. Scroll down to the bottom for that link. Lots of good merchandise, including this t-shirt. Look what it reads, Rhino Hunting, which is especially relevant today. Check it out. One shirt for men or women in black, navy, or white, and in all sizes. Look for this in all sorts of clothing and accessories with a conservative theme. All right, everyone, pay attention. This is going to get very serious. Representative Madison Cawthorn of North Carolina gave an interview to podcaster John Lovell last week and said some explosive things. Mr. Lovell first wanted his take on a Netflix movie, House of Cards, that portrays a very seamy Washington, D.C. Cawthorn said the movie portrayed the city and its political movers and shakers correctly. In fact, he said he had, indirectly from actor Kevin Spacey, who plays the lead, that a former president said that the only thing that's not accurate in that show is that you would never get a piece of legislation about education passed that quickly. Whom is he talking about? Bill Clinton, of course. Bill, I did not have sexual relations with that woman, Clinton. That's relevant because it goes to what Madison Cawthorn said next that really set official Washington on its ear. He spoke of sexual perversion that pervades the city. He said men in their 60s and 70s, whom he has looked up to all his life, would invite him to orgies in their houses. And worse, he has had men leading the charge against drug addiction doing cocaine right in front of him. Whoa! This story has all of official Washington buzzing like a nest of angry hornets. House Republican leader Kevin McCarthy promises to talk to him. Representative Scott Perry, leader of the Freedom Caucus, wants Madison Cawthorn to name names, which could mean put up or shut up. If you can believe Politico, his remarks stirred the pot to sloshing at yesterday's Freedom Caucus meeting. Folks, you're looking at hypocrisy with a capital H. If somebody makes such an allegation in public and you never knew about what he alleges and it would make you angry if you did know, you don't just say you want to talk about it. You say in reply that this is serious business and you'd be happier if he asked for an investigation. And if you're as powerful as the minority leader, you call for one. But is it true? Well, let's think about this. How does someone make a movie like House of Cards that paints Washington as one big, never-ending, drug-laced sex party? If that's false, why is the movie such a hit? Did Bill Clinton and Kevin Spacey say what Madison Cawthorn quotes them as saying, or didn't they? In fact, it wouldn't be the first time someone made a movie about official Washington and made people angry. Let's talk about Mr. Smith Goes to Washington from 1939. You know the stars. Jimmy Stewart, Jean Arthur, Claude Rains, and Edward Arnold. When that had a command premiere before Congress, half the members walked out. Why? Maybe because they knew that Frank Capra, who directed, had nailed them all to the wall, dead to rights. And this was only about the horse trading for pork that goes on in Congress. Pork! Outright graft! The only thing inaccurate about that film is Claude Rains trying to shoot himself in the Senate cloakroom and then rushing out into the Senate chamber, screaming, "Expel me! Not him! Everything he said is true!" Have you ever heard anything really play out that way? Me neither. Now, let's talk about something Madison Cawthorn didn't talk about. Caucus dues. Did you know that every senator and every representative has to pay a due to their respective caucus? Care to guess the amount? As much as a member's annual salary. How can they afford caucus dues? How do you think? By cozying up to lobbyists like Edward Arnold's character James Taylor in Mr. Smith. And now we know what else those lobbyists pay for, don't we? Now you know why Congress is an unproductive career. And it goes on at state level too. The caucus dues, certainly. We don't know yet about the rest of it. But I want to shout out to one gracious lady in Virginia who won't play. Senator Amanda F. Chase of Western Chesterfield County. Amanda, if you can hear me, you should be running for the United States Senate in 2024. So what do we have before us today? These guys get enough from their lobbyist keepers to afford to fill their houses with prostitutes as party favors. Or is it their female office? So disgusting either way. And not only that, to buy cocaine, one of the most expensive drugs out there. At least all that Jefferson Smith had to contend with was a senior senator's daughter throwing herself at him to keep him off the Senate floor at a critical moment. And then coming to find out that a dirty crook tells that same senior senator what to do. Well, Madison Cawthorn just revealed that the more Washington changes, the more it stays the same, but even dirtier. And far from brushing him off, we should listen. Link in the description to the article, to Madison Cawthorn's interview with John Lovell, and to the awesome online store. This is Terry A. Hurlbut, delivering yet another declaration of truth and reminding you to let the truth set you free.